Hey everybody, I just want to welcome you to FISA 4202, the FISA Practicum. Practicum is just another word in some ways for internship. This is the closest thing that we have to an internship. And I think in some ways it's better. A lot of times with an internship, you end up spending time at one place. And this is going to give you the opportunity to visit lots of different places. So that is the point of the course. I'm looking over here at my desktop computer to kind of give you some information about it. It's in a lot of ways, this course will be, it's very flexible in that it's kind of a work at your own pace sort of a course. It is to kind of give you this individual opportunity to go out and connect with and understand how public safety agencies work together. You know, the fire department does not work in a bubble. And so we, in most situations, we are working with other agencies, other individuals, organizations within the public safety structure or within our communities. And I think it's important that we understand their role, their mission, their chain of command, how they operate, so that we can operate together within that concept. So you'll find in the course that there are some different requirements for you. There's a couple of discussion postings, one at the first of the semester and one, I think it's about halfway through, that you will be graded on those as well. You have some journal article reviews that you will be doing. Those articles are posted under the reading resources. There's also a reflective paper. And basically what that means is it's about it, or you're going to read an article and then just give us your thoughts about that particular concept that is discussed in that article. If you'll look at the syllabus, you'll find the different due dates for those articles. There's also a participation journal that you will have, and you will be graded on that. I need you to try to space this out as much as you can across the 15 weeks of the semester. You will be submitting a timesheet, roughly, for lack of a better term, as well as an electronic journal page. And I need kind of something each week. Even if you didn't do anything, you can tell me that, or maybe say why you didn't do anything. That's fine too, but this just documents your work through the semester, and that's just what I'm trying to do. So in case any questions are asked, I will have this documentation. Excuse me. Looking at the content, you will see there's the reading resources, and that's where your journal articles are. And then there's something called the practicum activities. And when you click on that, you're going to see sort of an introduction to that. There's also a release form that I need for you to sign and submit. It is basically releases East Georgia State College from any liability if you are injured during this semester as a result of this course or these activities. And then there is a document that's your practicum assignments. It's roughly 60 hours. And when I say roughly, I mean roughly. You do not have to have 60 hours. There may be reasons why you can't get them or the agencies can't help you get them. But you will see I have a list of agencies there and an approximate number of hours to spend with each. There's the County Emergency Management Agency, the 911 Dispatch Center. And let me say, like the County Emergency Management Agency, some places have their own, like their own office, their own center, all of that. Other times it may be rolled up into the job of the fire chief, or it may be a part-time position. And these are all things that we want to, this is the reason for doing this course, is to see how other places do things. So no matter what the situation is, that's something that you want to pay attention to. The dispatch center, some organizations maybe have their own just for the fire department or the police department. There may be a dispatch center that dispatches all the public safety agencies. Again, different in different communities and jurisdictions. And then spend some time with your law enforcement agency. This can be the police department, the sheriff's office, or both. And sometimes doing both is it's beneficial to see the differences in how a municipality works versus the county. Spend some time, try to spend some time with each of the divisions. There's, the administration division or the uniform division, the investigations, their training division, and if there's a school resource officer or, they may have a juvenile division that you can work with. Just try to spread, you don't spend all your time in one area, like riding in patrol. That's kind of the fun thing, but see what these other areas do. Again, view these people as resources that can help you in your work in your department. The county superior court, again, you're the only thing that you're going to be doing there is look at the court schedule and see when they may be having a trial. That would be the optimum. A lot of times they may not have those, but you may want to go for arraignment day. You can divide it up. But hang out and all you're going to do is just be hanging out, watching, observing the proceedings. You don't have to follow anybody or shadow anybody. You're just going to be an observer in the courtroom. And then also the county magistrate court, or if you are in a city, there may be a municipal court. Find out when those proceedings are and observe those as well. Again, you're not shadowing anybody, you're just hanging out in the courtroom. A county commission meeting or a city council meeting, or both, if you have the time. Again, this just gives you an idea about how the government works, about how the fire department plays a role in that, and public safety as well. This may be a good time to go to county commission meetings or city council meetings because it's budget time. They're going to be doing budgets soon, so that's a good time to go. And then the fire department, if you are, it may be that if you are in operations, you want to spend time with administration, with training, with the fire marshal's office. You are welcome to go and visit another fire department. Let's say you work for the city fire department, go visit your county fire department, or vice versa. You hang out with other shifts, and just from the standpoint of an observer, of seeing how they differ, how they operate, that sort of thing. And then the county, the EMS service. Your department may be the EMS provider. We'll plan to spend some time devoted to EMS activities and administration, etc. You may have a private EMS provider in your community that maybe does non-emergency transports, and spend some time with administration to see what happens in EMS administration, because a lot of times it's a lot different than the fire department. So those are just, again, the hours that are listed on that form are just rough hours, but you do want to try to get as close to that as possible. Under the intern or the practicum activities, you'll find your record of participation, which is a timesheet. Print off a bunch of those forms, and then you're going to submit those every week. The agency that you were with, have somebody sign it if possible, and the time that you spent, that kind of thing. So again, it's all documentation that you've done the work in the course and that you are attending the class. And then the journaling document, this electronic journal. You want to just kind of evaluate their weekly. What did you do that week? Where did you go? Who did you visit? What did you learn? Looking at some of the values and ethical practices, what kind of critical thinking and professional knowledge do they need? There may be some negatives that you see, and certainly, those are things to discuss. I wouldn't discuss it necessarily with them, but in your paper. You know, what kind of skills did you learn, or what kind of situations were you in that you really found interesting? So those will be submitted weekly. When we're talking about the assignments, there may be one of the things that makes this a little more cumbersome for you is making the arrangements for all of this. It's really hard for me to try to set all this up for when you have students in different places within the state and even outside of the state of Georgia. So it is incumbent upon you to coordinate all of this. If you run into any problems coordinating it, let me know. Give the, you know, if you're having trouble with a contact person, I'll be glad to talk to them. They can email me and I'll verify that what you're doing is on the up and up. And hopefully that will help you. There may be releases that you will need to sign as you do these ride-alongs for that agency or organization. Certainly sign those and do it. Most people, there may be some confidentiality statements that you have to sign as well. If there's special things going on in your community that might count towards this. I know I had one student that attended, there was a deputy that was shot and killed in his community, and he attended a line of duty death funeral for this officer, and he had some really dramatic, I guess, for lack of a better word, observations about the differences between that and a firefighter line of duty death. Or if there's a conference, or I'm trying to think of something. So don't limit yourself by simply, you know, the regular things. You can do some of those extra things, and those can count as well. If you have any problems with any of this, please let me know. Again, it's just kind of it's a way for you to get out. We don't work in a bubble in the fire department. It's not just the fire department. We work with all these other places and within the framework of all these other organizations, and we interact with these people. And so it's all about knowing how they work, knowing some of the positives and maybe the negatives of their work, but also being able to relate to what they're talking about and how you can better serve them. The last thing is a final report that will be due, and basically that's just going to be kind of a wrap-up of the semester and what you learned. You'll look at your, you're going to create, in the first discussion, you're going to create some learning objectives that you, some things that you would like to get out of this. And so you're going to review those in this final report to see if you met those objectives or not. So again, the schedule is very flexible. You do need to, you know, I need you to check in. I need you to log in. The journal reports are spaced out in the semester. Again, we just wanted to make sure that you're working through the entire semester. You know, I don't want you to do everything in the first week and then you can't just skate for the rest of the semester. So you gotta kind of work along and space it out. But again, I hope that you find this to be a great learning experience. It's an opportunity to get out there and meet some people and visit with some people and learn how things go in other organizations. Let me know if you have any problems. I appreciate your interest in this, and I'm looking forward to a great semester for you. Thanks.